Never start a crochet video by showing you the finished cute little animal first. That's the biggest mistake almost every crochet creator makes, and it's probably costing you views without you even realizing it. Here's the thing. When you show the finished amigurumi right at the start, you just gave away the whole reason someone would watch. There's no mystery left, no reason to stick around. You basically handed them the ending before the movie even started. So today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to crochet an animal from scratch, the real way, with the mistakes, the fixes, and the little details that separate a lumpy, weird-looking blob from something that actually looks like it belongs in a store. And by the end of this, you're going to understand why so many beginner crochet animals come out looking wrong, even when the person followed the pattern perfectly. If you've ever made an amigurumi and thought, why does mine look nothing like the picture? This video is for you. Let's get into it. So, crochet animals, also called amigurumi, are honestly one of the most satisfying things you can make with a hook and some yarn. You start with basically nothing, just a loop of thread, and 45 minutes to a few hours later, you've got a little creature sitting in your hand that has a face and a personality. That feeling never really gets old, no matter how many you make. But here's what nobody tells beginners. The pattern is only maybe 60% of what makes an amigurumi look good. The other 40% is stuff that pattern writers don't even mention because pattern writers assume you already know it. Things like tension, stuffing technique, how you finish off your pieces, and how you actually put the animal together at the end. That 40% is where almost everyone gets stuck, and it's exactly what we're covering today. Let's start with the actual problem most people run into.
You don't just want a car, you want a sanctuary. With Whisper Quiet Cabin technology and an interior designed around you, it's not just about getting to your destination, it's about arriving inspired. Atheris, move beautifully.
You don't just want a car, you want a sanctuary. Introducing the all-new Atheris sedan. A lot of people use a hook size that's too big for their yarn, because that's just what the yarn label recommends. But yarn labels are written for things like blankets and sweaters, not amigurumi. For crochet animals, you generally want to go down 1 or even 2 hook sizes smaller than what the label says. So if your yarn label says use a 5mm hook, try a 3.5 or even a 3mm hook instead. Your stitches will be smaller and tighter, which means no gaps, no stuffing peeking through, and a much cleaner looking finished piece. Now let's talk about something that trips up almost everyone at some point, and that's counting your stitches. In amigurumi, you're working in a spiral, not in joined rounds like a lot of other crochet. That means there's no clear stopping point at the end of each round, unless you mark it yourself. This is where a stitch marker becomes your best friend. It's a tiny plastic ring, or honestly, you can even use a scrap piece of yarn tied in a loop, and you just move it up every time you finish a round, so you always know exactly where you are. Skipping this step is one of the most common reasons people lose count and end up with a lopsided animal. Maybe one side has an extra stitch, so the head tilts weirdly to one side, or the body is bigger on one half than the other. It's such a small habit using that stitch marker every single round, but it saves you from so much frustration later. I genuinely think this one tip alone fixes more amigurumi problems than almost anything else. Okay, so let's say your rounds are looking clean, your tension is tight, you're counting your stitches properly, you're moving through the pattern, you've made the head, maybe the body, the little arms and legs. This is usually where people feel like they're almost done and the hard part is over. But this next part is actually where the real magic happens, and it's also where a lot of amigurumi projects go from decent to genuinely impressive, or from decent to disappointing depending on how much care goes into it. I'm talking about stuffing and assembly. Stuffing seems like it should be the easy part. You just shove some polyester filling inside the piece, right? But how you stuff actually shapes the entire look of your animal. If you stuff too little, your amigurumi will look soft and saggy, kind of deflated, like a balloon that's been sitting out for a week. If you stuff too much, you'll stretch the stitches apart and you'll start seeing gaps between them. Plus, the shape can end up looking too round and stiff, losing that soft, cute look amigurumi is known for. You don't just want a car, you want a sanctuary. Introducing the all-new Atheris sedan. You don't just want a car, you want a sanctuary. It's not just about getting to your destination, it's about arriving inspired. Atheris, move beautifully. A car, you want a sanctuary. You started with a pattern that felt simple enough, but you ran into that cupping and rippling issue. And now you understand it's about your increase rate and your tension, and that going down a hook size or two makes a massive difference. You learned that a stitch marker isn't optional. If your crochet animals keep coming out lumpy, lopsided, or just a little bit off, I need you to stop blaming yourself, because I promise you it's not a talent problem. It's a handful of tiny mistakes that almost every single person makes when they start crocheting amigurumi, and once you know what they are, you'll never make them again. I'm going to walk you through exactly why your stuffed animals aren't turning out the way you picture them in your head, and more importantly, how to fix it. By the end of this, you're going to look at your yarn stash completely differently. So stick around, because the third mistake I'm going to show you is the one almost nobody talks about, and it's probably the biggest reason your animals look homemade instead of handmade. Let's talk about the problem first, because I think it's important you understand why this happens before we jump into the fixes. When most people start crocheting animals, they follow a pattern step by step. They count their stitches, they do everything right on paper, and then they finish the project and something just feels off. The head looks too big for the body, the ears are pointing in weird directions, there's a gap at the top that stuffing keeps poking out of. The face looks kind of blank or a little bit creepy instead of cute. And here's the thing, this happens to basically everyone. I'm not exaggerating when I say that almost every single crocheter, even ones who have been doing this for years, has a drawer somewhere full of slightly weird-looking animals they made early on. It's basically a rite of passage. The problem is that most tutorials teach you the stitches, but they don't teach you the small details that actually make a project look polished. Stitches are honestly the easy part. Anyone can learn a single crochet or a magic ring in a weekend. What separates a cute, professional-looking crochet animal from a lumpy mystery blob is a bunch of tiny decisions you make along the way that nobody really explains clearly. So let's go through them one at a time. The first mistake is using the wrong hook size for your yarn. This sounds so simple, but it's honestly one of the biggest reasons amigurumi looks bad. When you're making a stuffed animal, you actually want your stitches tighter than normal, tighter than what the yarn label suggests. Why? Because amigurumi has stuffing inside it, and if your stitches are loose, the stuffing is going to peek through the gaps between them. You'll get this fuzzy, see-through look where you can literally see white fluff poking out everywhere, and it instantly makes the piece look messy no matter how good your shaping is. The fix here is simple. Go down a hook size or two from what the yarn label recommends. If your yarn calls for a 5mm hook, try a 3.5 or a 4 instead. Your fabric will be denser, tighter, and the stuffing will stay locked inside where it belongs. Keeps your rounds accurate and your final shape symmetrical. You learned that stuffing in small amounts and shaping as you go creates a smoother, more polished look than just cramming filling in all at once. And you learned that where you place the eyes and how you angle the limbs is what actually gives your little creature a personality, way more than the pattern instructions alone ever could. None of this stuff is complicated once you know it, but it's also stuff most patterns just don't tell you, because they assume you'll figure it out through trial and error. Now you don't have to. The truth is, the difference between someone who makes amigurumi that look kind of rough and someone who makes ones that look like they belong in a shop window usually isn't talent. It's just knowing these small details and actually paying attention to them while you work. That's it. That's genuinely the whole secret. So next time you sit down with your hook and yarn to make a little crocheted animal, slow down on these parts. Watch your tension, count your stitches, stuff a little at a time, and play around with where you place those eyes before you commit to anything. Your finished piece is going to look completely different in the best way possible. If this helped you out, go watch the next video because I break down exactly how to fix the 5 most common amigurumi face mistakes that make animals look kind of off, and trust me, you're gonna want to see it. The all-new Etheriss sedan, with whisper-quiet cabin technology and an interior designed around you. Inspiration. It's not just about getting to your destination, it's about